Hello friends, this is Ramesh Panikar here. Today we will be discussing equivalent concept. This is basically related to mole concept, but in NCERT this equivalent concept is not mentioned, but many of the questions which are like of high level, you can solve it using equivalent concept. So to begin with, what is equivalent mass? What is equivalent mass? The bookish definition which is given, the bookish definition which is given is the mass of a substance which can combine with either 35.5 grams of Cl or 8 grams of oxygen or say 1 gram of hydrogen. This is the bookish definition which is mentioned. Alright, this is the bookish definition which is mentioned. That is a substance which can combine with 1 gram of hydrogen or 8 grams of oxygen or 35.5 grams of chlorine. So as such the calculation of equivalent mass is not that tough. You can easily calculate equivalent mass, but let us define the equivalent mass first. Like I told you, this is the mass of a substance which can combine with either 8 grams of oxygen or 35.5 grams of Cl, chlorine, or 1 gram of hydrogen. So look at the formula of magnesium oxide. Look at the formula of magnesium oxide. Okay. See, this is MgO, magnesium oxide. So from the formula it is clear that 1 gram atom is atomic mass. 1 gram atom of magnesium is combining with 1 gram atom of oxygen, that is 16 gram. So here 16 grams of oxygen has combined with 24 grams of magnesium. 24 grams of magnesium. Alright, that is 1 gram atom. Therefore 8 gram atoms of oxygen, 8 grams of oxygen, 8 grams of oxygen will combine with, that is 12 grams. So 12 gram is the equivalent mass of magnesium. 12 gram is the equivalent mass of magnesium. Alright. Or you can say, if you look at the formula of magnesium chloride, MgCl2, this is the formula of magnesium chloride. Okay, so here 1 gram atom of magnesium is combining with 71 gram or 2 gram atoms of Cl, that is 71 gram. That is 24 gram or 71 grams of chlorine is combining with the 24 grams of magnesium. 24 grams of magnesium, therefore 35.5 grams of chlorine will combine with, it will combine with, say it becomes 12 grams. So 12 is the equivalent mass of magnesium. This is by bookish definition. Or you can also say this is the amount of a substance which can lose or gain Avogadro number of electrons. This is the mass of a substance which can lose or gain Avogadro number of electrons. Like look at magnesium or sodium. Look at sodium. What is the configuration? 1s2, 2s2, p6 and 3s1. This is the configuration of sodium. So one atom can lose 1 electron. Therefore, it's 1 gram atom. 1 gram atom of sodium. 1 gram atom of sodium. That is 23 gram. 23 gram will lose 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23. Since 23 grams of sodium is losing Avogadro number of electrons, since 23 gram of sodium is losing Avogadro number of electron, its equivalent mass is 23. Or for magnesium, you can say magnesium, the configuration is 1s2, 2s2, p6 and 3s2. Alright, so one atom of magnesium will lose 2 electrons, or you can say 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 into 2 electrons are lost by 24 grams of magnesium. That is 1 gram atom, because one atom will lose 2 electrons. So 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 electrons are lost by 24 grams of magnesium. Therefore, 6.022 into 10 raised to power 23 electrons will be lost by, obviously it is 12 gram. Again, this is the equivalent mass of magnesium. It is the equivalent mass of magnesium. Alright. So, the point is, equivalent mass, you can say this is the mass of a substance which is combining with 8 grams of oxygen or 1 gram of hydrogen, etc. And the calculation part is very simple. Even if you do not understand this thing, simply say the equivalent mass of an atom. The equivalent mass of an atom is given by atomic mass divided by valency. For if you want to calculate for hydrogen, what is the atomic mass of hydrogen? Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Alright. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So it is 1 divided by 1. That is the valency of hydrogen. What is the equivalent mass of oxygen? It is 16. What is 16? 16 is the atomic mass of oxygen divided by 2. That is the valency. Or for aluminium, it is 27 by 3. 27 is the atomic mass divided by 3 is the valency. Equivalent mass of calcium 40 by 2, like that. Alright. Now comes how to calculate equivalent mass of an ion. Equivalent mass of an ion is given by its atomic mass, simply because by losing electron or by gaining electron, the mass is not changed, because we consider that the mass of electron is negligible. The mass of electron is negligible. So if you want to calculate equivalent mass of calcium, it is simply its atomic mass divided by the charge, that is 2 positive. That is same as the equivalent mass of atom. Alright. Equivalent mass of oxide ion 16 by 2. Equivalent mass of aluminium 3 positive 27 by 3. Equivalent mass of Cl negative 35.5 divided by 1, like that. Now comes equivalent mass of equivalent mass of a salt. So we have discussed equivalent mass of atom. It is atomic mass divided by valency. Equivalent mass of ion, it is atomic mass divided by its charge. Now equivalent mass of a salt. What is a salt? Salt is formed when an acid reacts with a base. What we get? We get a salt. Right. Salt plus water. So like if we have HCl, it is treated with NaOH, suppose. What we are getting? NaCl plus water. Okay. So NaCl is called salt. Now for a salt, if we want to calculate equivalent mass, it's given by its molar mass divided by total positive or total negative charge. It is equal to atomic mass divided by total positive or total negative charge. Like for NaCl, it is Na positive and Cl negative, 1 positive or 1 negative. So it is 58.5 divided by 1. That is 58.5. If you look at calcium chloride, CaCl2, calcium chloride, CaCl2, calcium valency is 2, chloride valency is 1. So 1 into 2 is 2. So what is the total positive charge? It is 2 positive. And what is the total negative charge? It is 2 negative. So it is atomic mass, that is 111 divided by 2. That is the valence factor. We also call it valence factor. For an atom, what is the valence factor? It is the valency. For an ion, what is the valence factor? It is its charge. For a salt, what is the valence factor? It is the total positive or total negative charge. It is total positive or total negative charge. Is this all right? For aluminium sulfate, look at aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 whole thrice. What is the total positive charge? Valency of Al is 3. So it is 3 positive into 2. That is equal to 6. And for sulfate ion, it is 2 negative. So minus 2 into 3, that is minus 6. So the total positive charge is 6 and total negative charge is 6. What is the equivalent mass of aluminium sulfate? Equivalent mass of aluminium sulfate is equal to its total mass, molar mass divided by 6. It is total mass divided by 6 or molar mass divided by 6. But in such cases, the calculation becomes tedious, calculation becomes tough. Alright, calculation becomes tough. So, to minimize the calculation, you can do one more thing. Like if you want to calculate the equivalent mass of aluminium sulfate, you can also say it is equivalent mass of Al3 positive plus equivalent mass of SO4 2 negative. This also you can say. Like for aluminium, it is 27 by 3. 27 is the atomic mass of aluminium, by 3 is the charge, plus equivalent mass of sulfate, it is 96. That is the mass of 4 oxygen and 1 sulfur. 16 into 4, 64 plus 32, that is 96 divided by 2. So this is equal to, you can say 9 plus, this is 48. 9 plus 48. Alright, or 48 plus 9, that is 57. This is the equivalent mass of aluminium. Whereas if you calculate in this manner, the calculation becomes tedious. The calculation becomes tedious. Alright. So this is the equivalent mass of salt. Equivalent mass of any other salt. Like if you want to calculate equivalent mass of magnesium chloride, you can follow the simple method, that is equivalent mass of Mg2 positive plus equivalent mass of Cl negative, that is equal to 12 plus 35.5. It is 47.5. So calculation becomes easy. If you calculate it in this manner, it is comparatively tedious, it is lengthy. Alright. So we have calculated equivalent mass of atom, it is atomic mass upon valency. Equivalent mass of an ion, it is given by its atomic mass divided by charge. Okay. And the third is equivalent mass of a salt or electrolyte, you can say it is molar mass divided by the total positive or total negative charge. Now come to the next case, equivalent mass of an acid. Acid is a substance which can lose H positive, like HCl is an acid. Why HCl is an acid? Because it loses H positive. Alright. Look at H2SO4. H2SO4 is also an acid. It loses 2H positive plus SO4 2 negative. So HCl is called monobasic acid. It is called monobasic acid. It is called monobasic acid. An acid which can donate only 1 H positive, monobasic acid. This is a dibasic acid. This is a dibasic acid. Alright, H3PO4 is a tribasic acid. So for an acid, it is given by molar mass divided by replaceable H positive. Like for HCl, it is the molar mass, that is 36.5 divided by 1, that is replaceable H positive. H2SO4, it is 98 divided by 2, molar mass divided by the total replaceable H positive. For H3PO4, it is 98 divided by 3. Alright. Now H3PO2, look at H3PO2. If you look at H3PO2, there are 3 hydrogen. But you should be careful. In this particular acid, you should be careful. And regarding H3PO3, you should be careful. In case of H3PO2, if you look at the structure of H3PO2, say, and this is the structure of H3PO2. These are called oxoacids. What are oxoacids? Oxoacids are those acids in which the hydrogen which is to be donated as H positive. Oxoacids are acids in which hydrogen which is to be donated as H positive is not directly bonded to the central atom. Rather, they are bonded through oxygen. They are bonded to the central atom through oxygen. So how many hydrogen are bonded through oxygen? Only one. So it can donate only one H positive. Look at H3PO3. If you look at the structure of H3PO3, this is the structure of H3PO3. Though in this acid we have 3 hydrogen, but only 2 hydrogen atoms are bonded through oxygen, and only those 2 hydrogen can be donated as H positive. And if you look at H3PO4, all the 3 hydrogen, they are bonded through oxygen. So H3PO4 is a tribasic acid, H3PO3 is a dibasic acid, and H3PO2 is a monobasic acid. Point is clear. So in case of H3PO2, it is M by 1, and in case of H3PO3, it should be M by 2. So this is very important. Particularly H3PO3 and H3PO2, you should be careful, because in most of the oxoacids, number of hydrogen is equal to basicity, means all the hydrogen can be donated as H positive. So as such, there is no problem in case of other oxoacids, but in case of H3PO2 and H3PO3, you should be very careful. Alright, look at this case. Now suppose there is a specific question. We know that H3PO4 is a tribasic acid. It can lose 3 H positive. But if you are asked about the equivalent mass of H3PO4, you are going to say it is M by 3. But if a reaction is already mentioned, like look at this case, we are given a reaction. In that case, you have to follow this reaction. In this reaction, how many hydrogen? There were 3 hydrogen, but 2 hydrogen remains. Only 1 hydrogen is substituted. Only 1 hydrogen is donated as H positive. So obviously, here the equivalent mass of H3PO4 is not 98 by 3, it is 98 by 1 only. And if in this reaction, 2 hydrogen are getting substituted as H positive. So here the equivalent mass becomes M by 2, molar mass by 2. So if a specific reaction is given, you have to follow that reaction, otherwise you will find out the equivalent mass in general manner. Alright. Now comes equivalent mass of base. Similar, molar mass divided by replaceable OH negative. Molar mass divided by replaceable OH negative. Like in NaOH, we have, here there is no problem what we faced in case of acids, oxoacids. Here there is no problem. Number of OH negative is equal to the acidity. So it is replaceable OH negative. So like for NaOH, we have 1 OH negative, M by 1, 40 by 1. For it is magnesium hydroxide, M by 2. For aluminium hydroxide, M by 3. But if a specific reaction is given, again you should be careful. Like here, a reaction is mentioned, and in this reaction, out of 3 OH negative of AlOH3, only 1 OH negative is getting replaced. So in this case, the equivalent mass becomes m by 1 because only 1 OH negative is substituted. All right. Now comes the equivalent mass of oxidizing agent. This is very, very important. Equivalent mass of an oxidizing agent. What is an oxidizing agent? Oxidizing agent is a species which oxidizes the other one. Say suppose we are given a reaction. Say suppose we are given NO3 negative. NO3 negative reacts with the, say, or HNO3 reacts with the, say, suppose H2S. Alright. And here in this reaction we are getting sulfur and we are getting NO2. So in this reaction, if you look at the oxidation state of nitrogen, in left hand side it is +5, in right hand side it is +4. So in this reaction, the oxidation state of nitrogen is getting reduced. Oxidation state of nitrogen is getting reduced. That means nitrate ion is reduced, and a species which is reduced during a reaction is called oxidizing agent. So NO3 negative nitrate ion is an oxidizing agent. H2S, oxidation state of sulfur increases from -2 to +2. -2 to 0. So sulfur is getting oxidized. But we will say H2S as a whole as reducing agent, because a species which is oxidized act like reducing agent, and a species which is reduced act like oxidizing agent. So there are certain oxidizing agents which are very important, and it is given in our syllabus NCERT. One is KMnO4, you should be careful about, and K2Cr2O7. These are the 2 oxidizing agents mentioned in our syllabus. So what is the equivalent mass? It is given by molar mass divided by change in oxidation state per mole. You should be careful, change in oxidation state per mole. And KMnO4 is an oxidizing agent. It acts as oxidizing agent in acidic media, basic media as well as neutral media. It acts like oxidizing agent in acidic media, basic media as well as neutral media. In acidic media, this you must remember, you can't help it. This you must remember. In acidic media, KMnO4 is self-reduced to Mn2 positive. In KMnO4, the oxidation state of Mn is +7 and it is reduced to +2. So the molar equivalent mass, I told you, it is given by molar mass divided by change in oxidation state per mole. So it is, the change is 5. So equivalent mass is given by m by 5. Equivalent mass is given by m by 5. Whereas in basic or neutral media, whether it is basic or neutral media, the oxidation state of this manganese, it changes from +7 to +4. So what is the total change? It is 3. So equivalent mass is given by m by 3. That you must remember, you can't help it. Equivalent mass of KMnO4 in acidic media is given by m by 5, means KMnO4 is reduced to Mn2 positive. In neutral or basic media, it is self-reduced to MnO2, so it is m by 3, whereas in strong basic media, it is reduced to K2MnO4, +7 to +6. What is the change? 1. So equivalent mass is given by m by 1. Alright. Whereas K2Cr2O7, in case of K2Cr2O7, this is the second oxidizing agent regarding which you must know. The formula is same, molar mass divided by change in oxidation state per mole. So here the oxidation state changes from +6 to +3. So normally students say that sir, equivalent mass of K2Cr2O7 should be m by 3. This is wrong. Because in 1 mole of K2Cr2O7, in 1 mole K2Cr2O7, we have 2 chromium. We have 2 chromium. So it is Cr2 plus 6. It is converted to twice of Cr, 3 positive. So it is 6 into 2 plus 12, 2 into 3 plus 6. So what is the total change in oxidation state? It is 6. So the equivalent mass is given by m by 6. This you should be careful. So we have discussed KMnO4 and K2Cr2O7. Both are oxidizing agents. K2Cr2O7, that is potassium dichromate, acts as oxidizing agent only in acidic media, and the valence factor is 6. What is valence factor? The factor with which we are dividing atomic mass or molar mass to get equivalent mass, that is called valence factor. So for K2Cr2O7, what is the valence factor? It is 6. For KMnO4, what is the valence factor? It is 3 different cases are there. First, in acidic media, where KMnO4 is reduced to Mn2 positive. So the change is 5, m by 5, valence factor is 5. In neutral or basic media, it is 3. It is reduced to MnO2, so m by 3. Whereas in strong basic media, KMnO4 is reduced to K2MnO4, where the oxidation change in oxidation state is 1, that is valence factor 1. So for salts, it is m by total positive or negative charge. So for a salt, what is the valence factor? Total positive or total negative charge. For an acid, it is molar mass divided by the total replaceable H positive. Alright, so for acid, the valence factor is replaceable H positive. For bases, it is replaceable OH negative. For atoms, it is valency. For ions, it is the charge. This is the valence factor. Alright. And finally, equivalent mass of reducing agent, that is say molar mass divided by change in oxidation state per mole. Like suppose H2S, where the oxidation state is -2, is reduced to 0. So the change in oxidation state is 2, molar mass by 2, that is equal to the equivalent mass. That is it. So normally it is not that important. Okay. And now comes some concentration terms. See, molarity, this we have already discussed. Molarity is equal to W upon M into V. Right, V is volume of solution in liter, and if you take this volume factor here, molarity into volume in liter, we are left with W by M. Alright, that is called moles. That is called moles. And if volume is mentioned in normality, okay, if volume is mentioned in normality, volume is mentioned in milliliter, in that case we have to put this 1000 factor, that is to convert milliliter into liter. And now if you take this volume in milliliter here, left hand side, then we are left with W by M into 1000. Moles multiplied by 1000, we have another term. This is called millimoles. Moles multiplied by 1000, W by M is equal to moles. This we study in initial stages. Now the second relation, molarity into volume in liter, is also moles, and this is the second relation. Alright, moles multiplied by 1000 or molarity into volume in milliliter is called millimoles. So capital M is molarity, V is volume of solution in liter, and we have, alright, so the next part we will discuss in the next session. Okay, thank you.